Well, it's not every day a two-time All-American, a member of the College Football Hall of Fame and Pro Football Hall of Fame stops by, but that's what we have right now on BTN Live. Dick Butkus is here. Such a privilege to talk to you. Thanks for the time. Let's make this a lot about your Illinois time. So take me back to the very beginning. What do you remember about your recruitment, and what other schools you were looking at back at the time?
Well, back then, when I went to CVS, Chicago Vocation on the South Side, you know, they had two graduating classes, like in January and then, of course, in June. So what I wanted to do is, back then, because freshmen weren't eligible, I wanted to go to school right away, get in the spring semester, and so I can get an extra spring practice. Then I would have that fall freshman, and then I'd have, you know, sophomore, spring and fall. So I would, to my way of figuring, I'd have an extra spring practice, one extra practice for me. So the recruiting was fast. I mean, I went to Purdue, I believe Iowa. My coach, Bernie O'Brien, was from Notre Dame, and I've always been in kind of a history guy with football, and so I went down to Notre Dame for a recruiting trip, and they had some guy take me around, but he was, I mean, he was whatever. So now we're at their football banquet, and Huey DeVore and Moose Scourin and everybody's sitting there and everything else. So now we're going on with this football awards banquet, and Q Herrick is up there, and at the final end of it, he said, "Oh, I just like to end this banquet with something I tell the boys before I take the field. Every time we take the field, I tell the boys," and he forgets. He forgets what he tells them every game, and I'm like, "Weird, that's weird." And then, so Huey DeVore, he's like, "Oh, you got any questions?" And I said, "Yeah, I really didn't have a chance to see the marriage facilities because you know, I might. Oh, you don't want to get married, you know? You don't. No, you don't want to do that." I said, "Oh, okay, really? Yeah, all right." So the very next night, Bill Taylor, I go visit with him over at the Beverly Country Club and having dinner or whatever. And then he said, "Got any questions?" And I said, "Yeah, like, what about like marriage facilities? We got brand new ones, Orchard Downs, you know, everything is nice." So I chose there because I didn't have that much time. As it turns out, I go to Illinois, and Bill Taylor, the guy who recruited me, is my daughter's godfather.
How about that?
So you know, they just did a great job of selling Pete Elliott and all their coaches, and you know, I think they had lost 15 in a row when I decided to go there.
Really?
So yeah.
Wow.
So our sophomore year, I think we won a couple games, and our junior year we went to the Rose Bowl, which this coming Sunday against Washington will be our 50th year Rose Bowl anniversary.
Where does that rank? The '64 Rose Bowl win. You've had a great career.
Well, you know, you got to understand, back then, you know, that was the granddaddy, you know, bowl of them all, and there wasn't the exposure there is today, and all the, you know, whether or not we should have a BCS, all that. It was just a Rose Bowl. When you were a Big Ten guy, that was the cream of the crop. And so here we come along, and what happened was we were supposed to play Michigan State for the Big Ten championship, and that weekend was the Kennedy assassination. So they called the game. And of course, you know, we played them the following week up there, and they had Sherman White, you know, and we shut him down, and you know, Grabowski won the rushing title. But I never, Bubba, everybody tells me, we were ready the week before. And I'm like, really? We would have kicked your butts the week before just as well. You know, we're in the big fat Big Ten when we went out to California. And
You mean that was the reputation?
yes, it was always, you know, we're, you know, big and slow and whatever. So a lot of the guys after the game said, you know, they're going to run around the field to show them how out of shape we were. And I said, "Yeah, you guys go do it. I'm tired." But you know, for the coin toss, we didn't win the toss, so we were going to go on defense first. So just before I ran on the field, Pete grabs me and he said, when they come to the line, you just get your guys and get a call and just jump off sides and crack every one of them right now. So I'm telling everybody, oh, okay, listen to my call. And when I call it, just wrap the guy across from you, you know, set the stage. They were so fast that when I called it, it was like getting off the ball like perfect, and we just smothered them and got them back. I mean, I remember playing Washington as a sophomore. My God, I said, when are they going to stop coming? I mean, you know, they take a break. They were fast back then. And kind of that's, you know, the Oregon offense almost. Right. Jeez, they were fast. But we won the game, and it was great. It was, you know, for a kid from Chicago, go to California, which, you know, we went out there. It seemed like we played a lot of our non-conference games were California because Pete and them guys, you know, they coached at Cal before they came to Illinois. But anyway, it was just a great experience. They got on the line. I trained for the Rose Bowl. My parents went out there. My dad got the shingles. He was so nervous. And they're looking like, what's with these things growing in January? Geez, these are oranges. You know, I mean, you're talking about people from the old country, and right. It's just, it was, I don't know, it was probably, I don't know, I think it was a more valued experience for us than kids nowadays.
We're going to stay on that topic when we come back, as Dick Butkus is going to talk to us about staying in his own backyard, so to speak, his entire career.